So, rest case on the YCS, so I'm back on the DB grind. I was on the DB grind a little bit, but I temporarily paused. But this is my build initially. So initially I was playing 3 evenly, 3 super poly and stuff in the main deck. But I ended up coming away from it just because I think Steven Santoli's take on the deck is a lot smarter and a lot more effective. So he forced me to go first, which is already putting me a bit of a worry. But again, I play Reinforce, and Reinforce makes me feel so comfortable that it's like I can't die. And then as soon as I see a normal summon hero, I'm like, there's no way you kill me on heroes if I have Reinforce. Like I'm so safe, and then I have Evenly on the crackback if I really need it. So I'm not really like I'm not really thinking I need to interrupt him here. There's just no reason to put too many resources into interrupting him. Yeah, it's easier just to let him go to battle phase. Outside of like absolute zeros, Heroes doesn't have a very easy way of popping all of your back row in rescue, which means you can kind of play very reactively and just let them commit as much cards to the board. He goes to battle phase now, so I'm going to try and reinforce my card. Then he's going to chain his DP to negate my thing. I try and stop his DP, but then he removes his DP from the field. However, in this instance, I'm like, that's actually fine because he attacks me, but he doesn't kill me. And then I just save rescue because I'd rather hold my rescue just in case he has like, the honest card in hand. And then that way I can still get Turbulence next turn rather than it dies for no reason. So now I know, look, there's no way I lose. Just reset Reinforce and just play for the grind game. Your deck is a lot stronger in the grind than his. Now, there is a little bit of an illegal game state here. SP should be on the field, and if we had returned the cards properly, I would have just made access code for game and won properly. Unfortunately, because of that mistake, and then a second misplay here where I forgot I didn't start with the Advanced Dungeon, so Dark couldn't revive the Witch, which is a shame. So I go into Celine, realize I can't use it, it's like, okay, whatever. So we go through the battle phase, and then we have to rewind the game state just to put the SP back on board. And obviously, just because it's fair, in the interest of fairness, I'm just like, okay, no, I'll act as if I wasn't going to make access code. And then main phase 2, make Appaloosa instead, 2 negates. Now there is a little bit of a risk he can just attack into Appaloosa, but I've got 3 ways to stop him because I've got Prevent a Summon, then I've got Container and Extinguish. I'm pretty confident that even with Appaloosa at 0 attack, he's not going to get to land an attack on the Appaloosa, which means that I'm not going to just die to a straight attack. So he starts committing cards to the board. He tries to get rid of my Hydrant. I don't really want him to get rid of my Hydrant there. Like, it would have come back, but I mean, it might have left, but I don't really want to give him that chance. So yeah, he tries to attack. I Book of Moon. He tries to attack again. I deny that with Extinguish, and then as you can see here, he just scoops because yeah, it's pretty much game from there. Now again, he forces me to go first, which again I wasn't expecting. Again, I draw evenly, but it doesn't matter because I drew draw and I drew combo, so my hands in both games are absolutely amazing. This looks like a bad hero hand, but honestly, I don't know how heroes is supposed to work. I feel like the whole deck is bricks, so I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so again, really prioritizing just resolving Turbulence. I know there's no way Heroes beats me other than evenly, because if I have Reinforce, and if I have, basically, I know that if I have Reinforce, I can't die, because even if they evenly me, I'm not dying that turn. If they don't evenly me and they try and crack from my board, Reinforce protects my monster. So he's going to start churning through his negates, churning through his interactions. Now I'm going to stop the Cross Crusader here, because I do think he gets a lot of value from that, so I'm like, okay, let me try and punish him a bit. Then he's just going to make another one. I was like, sure, I didn't realize that you could just do that, but sure. Goes into Liquid Soldier, starts doing some fusions, and the draw here is huge because it means he's not going to get the draw of the Liquid Soldier. And then he's going to attack into my card, and so I want to kind of force him to allow my SP to trigger. So I'm just going to start activating effects, targeting his cards and stuff, so that it eventually lets me trigger my SP, because I do want to keep that card. He eventually does have to trigger it. I make sure to protect my Turbulence here because I want him to pop another card, so my Turbulence gets a free pop, which I think is very important. Now we do have a little bit of a dispute here because we have a bit of an illegal game state, and so we have to rewind it. So you're going to see loads of cards coming on and off and on and off, because he's just like, oh, go back to end phase so that I can do a different super poly. And I was thinking, like, what's the point, bro? You're super polying for a different target that isn't better. Like, it doesn't really make sense, but sure. So we eventually rewind the game state. He super polys instead for this card. Like, my dragon would have been so much better. I don't know why he wanted to rewind to make this worse monster. But sure, he does this. Now, I'm not able to OTK, but it doesn't really matter because I know that, again, there's just no way I die. I've got draw, I've got 2 cards on board. So it's like, it's just easier to play it safe, go for the access code line or whatever and try and get the kill here. So as you can see, this time I don't misplay. I do remember that I actually have access to a spellcaster engrave, And so I go for the access code line. I keep my rescue until battle phase, and I use it in battle phase so that just in case, I don't know, he had like a nib or whatever, I don't lose to that and I end up winning the game. So guys, Rescue Ace versus Heroes. I'll see you in the next one.